Will PPBT bounce all the way back upwards with $1.40 levels once again, or is this a ticker which you should cut your losses and walk away from? What's up, trend friends? Today we're discussing PPBT under 3 different lenses: the why, the what, the where. The why we're going to be doing a catalyst breakdown. The what we're going to do in some stock analysis. The where I'm going to tell you guys where to get in, where to get out, and where this ticker is heading for the rest of the week. So without further ado, if this is the type of content you guys like, hit that thumbs up button, and now let's get to work. So as always, the first thing which we're going to discuss is going to be the why, because in order to predict the future, we first need to understand the past. In the case of PPBT, this is a ticker which is already up over a whopping 81% at the time of recording this video, right? Let's say it's up 70%, right? Because 60%, because it's down 15% in the after hours, right? But what the hell is really going on here, right? Why is it up? Because if we can predict and understand, if we can understand the past, then we can have a better odd of predicting the future, right? So why is this ticker running? Is it running based off of a serious catalyst which can actually hold its gains and bounce back up and build from here? Or is this just one of those catalysts which is here today, gone tomorrow? So in the case of PPBT, right? Let's go over here and let's read the news together. So the news is lukewarm. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think it's some lukewarm news, right? Right. So it says Purple Biotech achieves a manufacturing milestone for IM1240, tri-specific antibody for the Captain 3 platform, right? So, you know, an update on their medication, but it's really nothing that is, it doesn't really have that shock factor which we look for, right? It doesn't pack a punch when it comes to us not seeing this news coming. I mean, this was just inevitable, right? A medication which they already have, you know, approval for, and now they've gone ahead and they're able to, you know, commercially yield it. So I think when it comes to the news, it's gonna be good news. It's not gonna be amazing news. It's not really something to write home about, if you ask me. Now, the next step is going to be the what analysis, right? The what analysis. Now, when it comes to the what analysis, this is where a lot of traders zig when they should zag, right? And they start looking at the company instead of actually paying attention to the stock itself, right? The stock is not the company and the company is on the stock, my friends. You need to analyze the stock. That's where the real money is made. You guys are stock traders. Now, let's talk about the stock. So when it comes to the stock, at the end of the day, right, what is the stock market? The stock market moves based off of one law: supply and demand. Supply and demand, supply and demand, supply and demand. That's all it's ever based off of. So supply and demand, let's get into the supply and demand aspect of things, right? When it comes to supply and demand, you guys got to understand that if there's a limited supply and demand goes up, price go up. But if there's a limited demand, doesn't matter how much demand there is, if supply is being added more and more, the price is going to crash. It's really that simple. So when we look at PPBT, right, the first thing we want to analyze is going to be how much supply does the stock have to begin with. The company has a float of 8.36 million shares, putting its market cap at approximately $8.86 million. So very, very volatile. So very small float, very small supply, very, very volatile. Now, the next thing we want to make sure of is this company is not going to go ahead and they're not going to add to this supply, okay? So how do we make sure that they're not going to go ahead and add to this supply? Why do companies add to the supply? Because they're in financial need of it, right? So let's look at the numbers. So right now the company has $8.5 million in the bank, and they're burning $1.76 million every single quarter, leaving them with 14 months of cash. So they're in a pretty okay situation to not go ahead and dilute. We're gonna put their cash as okay, right? They do have, you know, more than a year of cash left, so that's you know, that's really pretty okay. It's really not the worst thing that I've seen. Now, the next thing which we want to look at is going to be the, you know, the odds of them going to do so based on the historical level. So historically, they've been very dilutive, and oh, look at this, their overhead supply is also big. When a company's overhead supply is big, that means that they've previously done a lot of dilution, and there are a lot of people that have warrants of the sticker just ready to dump it in the markets. Okay, so these are people that have been sold the stock previously at a discounted level, and once the stock starts gapping up, they're ready to dump these shares into the market because they want to get out with green profits. So imagine if you had the rights of, let's say, PPBT at 80 cents a share and the stock ran all the way upwards of $1.40. You might go ahead and close some of your position. Now imagine if you had the rights at 50 cents a share. Now you may say, Sam, how could you have the rights of the ticker to buy at 50 cents if the stock, you know, the lowest you went was 53 cents? Well, this is how warrants work, right? This is when the company goes to the financial markets and they raise funds. Now, I'm not saying that these guys have such things, right? Let's go over here and let's actually check what their warrants are sitting at. So they have a lot of dollar warrants, it looks like. Look at this. They have a lot of $1 warrants. So the moment that the stock gets above this dollar level, right, people are just ready to sell these, cashing these checks. They're ready to cash them in, right? This is not good at all, man. This is not good at all. So I'm not surprised that it didn't manage to get above $1.40, because the moment the warrants were 40% in the money, people are like, okay, I'm cashing it in, I'm out of here, right? Simple and easy. Not good at all, man. Not good at all. Okay. Now the next thing we want to look over here, guys, is going to be so the odds of dilution. Unfortunately, guys, we're gonna have to put it as bad, meaning high, right? The next thing we want to look at is gonna be institutional ownership. Institutional ownership's in at 0.6%. Also ugly, bad as well. Not looking good, man. Listen, overall, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's not looking good. All right, it's not looking good at all. Now, can this take a recover? Let's talk about that. The highest I see it recovering to would be the $1 levels. I don't see it getting above a dollar. If it gets above a dollar, which is right over here, 102-ish, right? It's not going to be able to break above this $1.10 levels. So for me, it's a no-go. For me, it's a no-go. I think that you guys should cut your losses closer to a dollar and move your position to something that is more likely to yield you results in the longer term, right? Now, you may say, Sam, why would I cut my losses when I can just hold? And, again, you can do whatever you like. It's your money, right? But I'm just telling you what I would do. At the end of the day, you guys got to also calculate the opportunity cost, right? Is it worth holding? Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you don't lose until you sell. The reality is that you do lose. You lose in time, you lose in opportunity, you lose as the stock sells off more and more. So I think you got to kind of look at it from an upside downside perspective and going like, okay, well, the upside is I now have these funds free where I can allocate them in different opportunities that may yield me a recovery later on. The downside is that I'm realizing the loss. Okay, so I think it's one of those things where it's your decision to make. Now I'll tell you guys this: if you're tired of losing, check out our community. Okay, you guys get to trade alongside myself and a handful of other professional traders who've literally been trading longer than I've been alive. Okay, so give it a shot, guys. Right now, the next 10 members that join our community, they get access to it for a 50% discount. You're there, right? Next 10 members, 50% discount. Now, this is what the community looks like. Let me show you what it looks like. Just a quick little tour. So we have, if you look on the left-hand side, we have day trade alerts, swing alerts, option alerts, you name it, we got it. And this is what our alerts look like. We give it a ticker, we give it a ticker, we give it an entry, we give it an exit, we give it a stop loss. We also tell you how many shares to buy in your portfolio. So we say 5 shares in a 10K account. What does this mean? That means that if you have a 30K account, you buy 3 times this number. If you have a 50K account, you buy 10 or 5 times this number, right? Simple and easy, right? Now, obviously, we trade out of a way bigger portfolio than a 10K account, but we give you these numbers as a sizing measurement, okay? Previously, guys, we used to do a 7-day free trial. Read what Wilson said. We already have over 400 members coming back month after month, by the way. So clearly, people are making money, right? Wilson says, hi, Sam. Thank you for all work on our community. My 7 days trial finish was great. I think I can afford a membership right this week. He brought in 7K in 7 days. 7K in 7 days off of a free trial. Now we no longer do a 7-day free trial. You know what we do now? Now we do a 2 weeks free trial and a 30 days money back guarantee. That's right, my friends. 2 weeks free trial, 30 days money back guarantee. Long Bong literally says side hustle goal $1,500 a day. Today was red, but managed to meet halfway my goal. Bang. Wonderful, man. Wonderful. Big with the clutch call, 60% off of that. Yesterday, Lulu says sold a little early. Green is green. So grateful for all your help, Big Obese and Sam. Joining this team has been the best decision. 45% gains off of a single alert. Another day, another great day. Thanks for y'all help. Bull Pig Project, yes. $2,000 in a single day. This is now Monday. My man Mark says 1100 profit from LK alert. I can now pay off a third of my rental wheels for my Range Rover. Beautiful fucking car. Amazing, man. When is this? This is Saturday. My man says when the market says sound started with 25,000, now 2,700. Amazing. My man Midget Missile brought in $68,000 off of a single alert. Stock Noob says started 4K this month plus 300 for today. Sam and his team is making money. So started at 4K, now it's at 5,700. Joel Neal says started a small account to test out some data swing alerts, and I'm grateful to Sam at Capital Gains for the recent wins. Thank you so much. I'm definitely sticking around. Wonderful, man. Wonderful. Listen. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. See if you make money. If you make money, come back for more. If you don't make money, I want to read this one. This is the last one I'm going to read to you guys because every time I read this, I read this by myself and honestly really moved me. It said, a couple of years ago, I was down in the trenches, absolutely beyond fucked, made every single mistake you can name and wouldn't learn from it, lost way more than I could afford and was so close to giving up. Decided to give it one last chance, find mentors. Now I'm almost back to the green with the help of Sam and everyone else. Words can't describe it, but Sam, you helped me out more than you could know. Thank you so much and all the other shot callers. The Robinhood account is my own doing. Really don't know what the fuck I was doing. This is him. And then he says the Mumu account is when I started when joining the server. Truly a lifesaver. 70% year to date. Amazing, man. Amazing. Listen, once again, 2 weeks free trial, 30 days money back guarantee. Next 10 members, 50% discount. Why next 10 members, 50% discount? Because we want to reward the action takers, not the procrastinators. Not the guy that goes, oh, I need to ask my wife, so my wife can ask her boyfriend if I can join your free trial, dude. It's a free trial. Think about how down your portfolio is right now compared to the free trial, and think about the opportunity you have here. Give it a shot. Anyways, I look forward to meeting you guys in Top Trick Academy. And remember, my friends, don't give up, don't quit. Why? Because 90% of traders are not unprofitable. 90% of traders just quit before they become profitable. Okay? Myself, I've been trading for 8 years. The first 3 years, all I did was lose money. All right? Now I'm profitable. So I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Your boy Sam from Top Trick Academy.